Once you understand the number one rule in marketing, it's going to completely change the way you market and it's going to completely change the way you live your life and interact with others. So let's get into this lesson today. It's going to be one of the most exciting lessons today. This is something you should refer back to multiple times. It's something you should think about almost daily until it's ingrained in your psyche, until you're using it in your marketing. So if I was to ask you, what is the number one rule in marketing? What is the most important principle, guideline, or framework you should follow when it comes to putting out content, when it comes to sending emails, when it comes to your landing pages, when it comes to your offers, when it comes to your pricing, when it comes to your marketing? What would you say? What is the number one rule in marketing? Have a moment and think about it. Now, I've asked this question before and I've got many different answers back. Some people say the number one rule is getting attention. Others say the number one rule is being consistent. Others say the number one rule in marketing is being the loudest. Others say the number one rule in marketing is, well, what is it? What could it be, right? There's so many different things that could be the most important rule in marketing. Some people say it is copywriting. Other people say it is having good design and having a consistent brand, right? There's a lot of different things that are important when it comes to marketing, a lot of principles that apply. But what I want to teach you is something that my mentor actually taught me. And what happened is one day he turned around and said to me, Adam, do you know what the number one rule in marketing is? And his answer kind of surprised me. What he said is the number one rule in marketing is put yourself in the other person's shoes, right? Put yourself in the other person's shoes. My screen's turning off here. Here we go. We're back. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. So let me write that down. We'll go with red today. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Let me explain what that means. Do you know what that means? Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Now, very important principle. And essentially what this means, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, is asking yourself every time you're about to take an action or do some sort of marketing that you want somebody else to take an action on. So for example, posting to Instagram, right? Put yourself in the other person's shoes and ask yourself, if you were your target market, right? And it wasn't your post, it wasn't your brand, it wasn't your business, would you stop as you're scrolling through Instagram to take a look at the post? Would you like it? Would you share it? Would you comment on it, right? And if you wouldn't, right, if you wouldn't be interested in the post yourself, then the chances are other people aren't going to be. And how can you expect other people to be interested in what you're doing, your marketing, if you're not interested in it yourself, right? And so you should use this filter always when taking an action. So putting yourself in the other person's shoes, would you take the action you want your target market to take? And if the answer is no, you should create another iteration. So for example, going back to the Instagram post concept, if you wouldn't like it, engage with it, share it, comment, for example, enjoy it, stop on the scroll, then keep iterating your content until you have something high quality that you yourself would actually stop to look at, to comment on, to like, to share, etc., right? To enjoy. And what this is going to do for you is it's going to completely revolutionize the way that you market. So for example, when you're making an offer or you're adjusting your price or whatever it is you're doing, you can always apply this filter. If I was my target market, would I buy this product? Would I open up this email? Would I scroll to the bottom of the landing page or the website and put my details in, right? Would I opt into my mailing list? Like for example, I see it all the time. 99% of websites, they have somewhere on their website, and it's good that they're doing this, but the execution is so poor. They have the words, subscribe to my newsletter or subscribe to my email list, right? Now ask yourself, when was the last time you were excited to put your email in to subscribe to a newsletter or an email list, right? Chances are it was a very long time ago, right? You don't want to be spammed with emails. And so you need a very convincing or compelling reason to put your email address in to a website. And so if you wouldn't put your email address in to something that says subscribe to my email list, why does your website say subscribe to my email list, right? So how could you make it more exciting? What could you do instead? Well, ask yourself, what does your target market want? So I work in the personal development, make money online niche, right? I work for a big brand. I'm running the marketing. It's actually my client that I work for. And on our homepage, on our website, obviously we're in the personal development niche. We talk a lot about mentoring and mentors. A lot of our clients are interested in mentors and getting a mentor. Our website for our email newsletter, instead of saying subscribe to my newsletter, it says get free mentor tips, right? Get free mentor tips is a lot more exciting. That's something I would put my email address in for, whereas I wouldn't put my email address in for subscribe to get daily annoying emails that are going to clog up your inbox. So you can see how in this case we've applied the principle of putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Now, obviously this is a very important principle in marketing, but how does it relate to other areas of your life? Well, for example, we could take your love life and your dating life, for example, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. You could ask yourself, would you date yourself? Right? And now it's important with all of this, with the marketing, with this question I just asked about dating and romance, it's very important that you're super critical and honest with yourself. Because where people get this principle wrong is they fall in love with their product and they forget to have empathy, right? And putting themselves in the other person's shoes. That's really what this principle is about. Number one rule in marketing is essentially can be summed up in one word: empathy. Empathy, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, feel what the other person is feeling, understand what the other person would be experiencing, right? So going back to the dating question, would you date yourself? If the answer is no, then how can you expect somebody else, to be interested in you, to want to date you? Another way you could think about this, for example, is if you have a brother or you have a sister, what kind of a person would you want them to be dating, right? And if it isn't yourself, now obviously you're not going to date your brother or your sister, but if it isn't yourself, like if you don't have the characteristics or the qualities that you'd want a close family member or someone you really cared about to be dating, then why would somebody date you, right? The world isn't yet a crazy enough place to reward undeserving people. So then it's simple. You're like, okay, maybe I wouldn't date myself, right? I hold myself to a higher standard. I wouldn't date myself. You could then ask yourself, well, what would my ideal target market, right? The person I want to date, my dream partner, what would they want to date? Who would they want to date? Who would I need to become in order to become an ideal partner, right? If I was putting myself in the other person's shoes. So that's an awesome exercise you can use. You can use it in your marketing. You can use it in your dating. You can use it in your pretty much anything, your health, right? You can use it in your health. How can you use it in your health? Well, I don't even know how you can use it in your health. I'll have to think about it because your health isn't really marketing. This rule is related to marketing. So anything where you're putting yourself out there, you're putting something out there and you want a response from others, then this rule applies, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. So let me know if this made sense. Drop in the comments an example of when you haven't put yourself in the other person's shoes and you didn't get the results you want. I'm sure you can think of plenty examples if you're being completely honest with yourself. I know, for me, almost on a daily basis, I'm reviewing my work. I'm asking myself, if I was on the other end of this marketing material, would I be interested in it? And, oftentimes the version 1, version 2, and sometimes even version 3 isn't what I would engage with, what I would like, what I would buy. And so what do? I simply iterate, keep iterating until I do find the winner. And oftentimes that's going to convert so much better than just putting out the version which the other person isn't going to relate with. So this applies to this YouTube video. I got to ask myself before I release this, would I watch this video? And if the answer is no, then I shouldn't put it out, right? I got to hold myself to the exact same standards. Same with watching the content. Would I watch till the end? So I appreciate it if you're watching all the way to the end now. It's very, I hope you're getting a lot of value from these videos, and I assume you are if you're staying this long. Well, then, would I watch all the way to the end? If the answer is no, then how can I improve this video? How can I improve the content? How can I make it more exciting, more engaging, higher value, higher rarity, and actually, create a product that I myself would consume. So thank you very much for joining. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Comment below what you would like me to talk on next.